my luscious Lubellians. Yep, dragons. We're back with a dragon update because guess what? It's been 76 years, 84 formats, and dragons are still one of the best decks. So we got you.
The Bestial archetype is at full power here in the TCG, and while it is, we wanted to showcase exactly what dragons are capable of.
Heck yeah, and you are also a capable dragon. And if you want to also stay a capable dragon, make sure you stick around because we're going to be opening OTS 22 this week on top of some really cool new content. So with all that being said, team, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, and comment your favorite dragon in the comment section. Who's your favorite dragon? Mine right now is Vanquish Soul Caesar Valius because he's cute and searchable off Magnuma. But with all that being said, let's breathe some fire, lay some eggs, and do whatever dragons do, I guess.
Rocket into victory.
Ah!
Starting off our rocket engine, we are on double copies of our rocket tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
One copy of our rocket recharger, the one copy of our rocket caliber, and then the one copy of our Apsa router dragon.
The boys, the gang, they're all here.
These have been your generic rocket ratios since the dawn of time. Nothing has really changed here except for the one copy of rocket caliber. It's just an extender that can special summon itself to a dark link monster's arrow, or it can tribute itself to summon a dragon from hand. That's really all you need to know. These cards are standard. And because we've done a ton of dragon profiles on the channel before, we're just gonna fly through these. So the remaining rocket cards are triple copies of Quick Launch,
Hate this card.
one copy of our Boot Sector Launch,
Booty.
and then the one copy of our Dragon's Ravine.
Just around the river bend. Again, very standard cards in Dragon Link, even though this isn't really like Dragon Link anymore. This is more like Bestial Dargans. I don't know what we call this deck anymore. Feel free to let me know what the hell we call this deck at this point in the comments because there's really no Dragon Links anymore. Anyway, Quick Launch, still at 3 for some crazy reason. One of the most broken cards in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! One Booty, one Ravine. That's all you need. A boot in the river.
And then for some other dragon support, we are on double copies of our Black Metal Dragon, and then the one copy of our Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon.
Remember when he got errated and we all thought he would suck and dragons would be unplayable? Yeah, me too.
Lamau.
We were all silly once. I'm silly now.
Speaking of once, that is its errata. It is only once per turn. Red MD says that you can banish a dragon-type monster you control and then special summon a dragon from either your hand or graveyard. Keep in mind that that does not specify, nor does it target, so it picks at resolution.
That's pretty good.
And then Black Metal Dragon, when it is sent from the field to the graveyard, you basically just search Red MD. I know most lists are probably playing 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. However, this list is already just a few cards over 40, and we wanted to keep this as concise as possible. The reason is because we are playing 3 copies of Chaos Base and 3 copies of our Starliege Safer. Realistically, at the end of the day, both of these cards can be your normal summon, whether it's Black Metal or it's Starliege Safer. Starliege Safer is just the better card to open because you can discard it off of something like your Ravine, or it just has more utility to grab more cards in your deck. And then other Chaos cards is the one copy of our White Dragon Wyver Buster, the one copy of our Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, the one copy of our Chaos Dragon Levianeer.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee said I'm hand ripping.
And speaking of hand ripping, we are choosing to tech in the one copy of Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair.
Hello, Father. For all my Master Duelists out there, the baby dragons are at 1 in the TCG. You cannot play 3 of them. That'd be really great. It would feel like 5 years ago. Really broken and terrifying. So they're at 1.
Speaking of 1, let's talk about the one copy of Darkest Diablos. This card is something you don't have to play, but it's one of my favorite cards of all time, and I think it is perfect in this dragon list because this card says whether it's in your hand or in the graveyard, if a dark dragon monster you control was tributed, it will special summon itself. Then it has the on-field ability to tribute any dark monster and then hand loop your opponent. So it's really crazy to not only take a card out of your opponent's hand, which Levianeer already does, so sometimes you can rip multiple cards, or it's just a dragon extender that has perfect synergy with your Bestial monsters.
And I mean, on the channel, Lair is one of our favorite decks that we do update pretty often, so legally I feel like we are required to play this card. So if you're not playing it, just think about it.
Shout out to Lilith. The reason we are choosing to play triple copies of Safer as opposed to the Black Metal Dragon is because Safer can send any number of monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard and then search a dragon monster with the same level. This card is basically just Small World for the deck, just less complicated. It also has the added effect where in the graveyard you can banish it and then add back any level 8 dragon monster from your grave to your hand. That's going to have a ton of synergy with the cards we're going to show off in just a second. And then we are playing, obviously, triple copies of Bestial Lubellion.
Lubellion, or as I like to call him, this asshole.
Triple copies of our Bestial Sereneer. Triple copies of maybe one of the most degenerate cards ever printed, Magnuma. The one copy of Druis Worm and the one copy of our Baldrake. And to go alongside of these, we are playing the one copy of our Branded Beast and then the one copy of our Branded Regain. If you're a fan of the channel, you will know that we absolutely despise these cards. There's no reason that these cards should be at 3. They're literally 2,500 bodies that DD Crow as quick effects, summon themselves, search their buddies, pop cards, negate summons, search other cards. These cards are absolutely freaking ridiculous.
Lubellion's an asshole.
Yeah, these cards are just dragons, and they all search dragons, so we are playing dragons.
They're just big dragons. Lubellion's thighs are so thick they could crack my face like a nut. Speaking of nut. Nobody out Magna's the nut. I'm really trying to make that stick. Get it? I'm sorry.
So the reason we are playing 3 copies in this version as opposed to the 2 in the last profile we put up is because this card is basically just the heart and soul of the deck. Lubellion can discard itself from the hand to search any bestial monster. It can tribute any level 6 or higher dark dragon type monster to summon itself. That is not an activated effect, it just summons.
Super fun and definitely not incredibly frustrating to deal with.
By definition, it is effectively a chaos monster where it cannot be normal summoned or set, so you can also search this off of chaos space. You can search this off of your Safert as well, or you can banish your Safert to add this back to your hand, discard it, search a bestial, banish it. So this card literally insane. He also has the on-field effect to place one of the branded spell or trap cards in your face-up spell and trap zone. This doesn't set, it just places. I feel like we've been talking about this card for 45 minutes. This card has 88 effects and every single one of them is broken. And the reason we're playing triple copies of Serenir is because when Serenir goes to the graveyard, it can dump any bestial monster, which is effectively just going to be your copy of Lubellion. And then in case you don't know, obviously we're playing the 8 copies of these bestials. Magnemite is insane. It searches any dragon at the end phase from deck or graveyard. Keep that in mind. You can add a dragon back from the graveyard if you're under something like Droll.
And then Lewis is your send a special summon. Drake just says no to a summon.
No.
Regained is essentially just your follow-up card that gets you a ton of advantage, and Beast is just your interaction.
And while we're still here with Lubellion, I'm sorry, I'm going to disrupt the flow for like a second since we're done with talking. I don't know why, I've just been thinking about this for a minute. I feel like they would be boyfriends. I don't know, what do you think? He's got like knee blades, he's got like hip blades. I feel like they could have a good time. I feel like they jive.
He also will trigger the Diablos because he tributes to, you know, tribute, the word.
They're lovers. Look, dark, light, they're the yin and yang. Look at them. I really love this for them. Comment section, can we level? Can we level that they're lovers?
Wait. Now they're looking at each other.
Oh my god, boyfriends! Look at that. Oh, I think we just made something here, team. I think we just did something. Anyway, I'll let them go do their thing. All right, anyway. Moving on, these are your flex spots in the deck. There's 6 of them, so do with these cards what you will. But for us, we chose 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent and 3 copies of Effecto Valor. Yeah, we got Tic Tac and Valor. These are those cards. You can pretty much put any 6 cards that you want in here. I think Talents is really insane in this format.
And the reason we are choosing to play something like Valor over any other hand trap, obviously it is a light monster, but you do draw a ton, and we want to have playable cards. You can play something like Nib, but Valor will hit the normal summon Labyrinth cards, so it just has a little bit more coverage. Talents is good going first and or second, but once again, play whatever you want. These could be Dark Ruler and Imperm, these could be Ash and something else. You could just play more Bestials. It really is up to you.
Anyway, that was the main deck, still the same wolf in sheep's clothing. Anyway, let's talk about the extra deck.
For the extra deck, there's nothing really out of the ordinary here. We're playing the 1 copy of Pisty because he's the only guard dragon left.
Yeah, he's all alone. His family's dead. He's basically Sasuke.
Chidori Street.
Good news is they both point to each other, so we play the 1 copy of Striker Dragon.
Cute.
He's also alone.
That's Naruto.
Believe it.
The 1 copy of our Dragoon Knight Romulus.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
In case you're unaware, Striker Dragon searches your boot sector, Romulus searches your Dragon's Ravine. The 1 copy of our Hieratic Seals. You can choose to play 2 of this, but I think 1 is more than enough.
This is also the perfect dragon end board most of the time. Seals pass.
The 1 copy of our good old boy Dill.
My favorite little pickle.
Dillingers is one of those cards that you can kind of move in and out of the extra deck. You do have a flex spot here and there. This is just one that we chose not only because it is a great extender for follow-up and it's part of your rocket engine, but realistically because of its arrow. And then just generic stuff, we are on the 1 copy of our Dark for a Link 2. Triple Burst is our Dragon Link 3 that really helps us get to our Pisty access. The 1 copy of our Nightmare Unicorn.
Yeah, look at that hot altar.
To match, we got the 1 copy of Access Code. And then the 1 copy of our Boral End Dragon.
Yo, I hate this guy.
This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, neither player can target this card with card effects. This card is 3,500 attack and can attack everything. It also negates the dude on the board and brings back a rocket, can't respond. This card is insane.
It's so whack. Like, I remember when he came out, we were like, oh, this is alright. And then it's like, no, this is actually one of the wildest cards ever.
Speaking of wild cards, we have the 1 copy of our Borreload Savage Dragon, negate. Our 1 copy of Baron de Fleur, negate. The 1 copy of our Bestial Dissipator, negate. This card says you can target a light or dark monster that is banished and then special summon it to your field. And then when your opponent activates an effect, quick effect, you can target 1 banished card, shuffle it into the deck. Then if you shuffle that card into your deck, you can destroy the monster, or if you shuffle that card into your opponent's deck, you can negate the effect. Cute little versatility. And then the 1 copy of our Chaos Angel. Now, as great of a card as Baron is as a negate, sometimes you are locked into the extra deck for dark monsters. So that's why we are playing the Dissipator and we are playing the Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is realistically for going second, and your Dissipator is for going first. They're both both just really good forms of interruption, just different scenarios.
Yeah, just very normal synchro monster that doesn't require tuners. Yu-Gi-Oh's really come to a point where we're like, yeah, you don't need a tuner for this mechanic. We're just gonna make it up as we go. We're gonna retcon.
And then the last card is our one copy of Heretic Dragon King of
He's a
Atum.
Tom. He just wants a Tom's because his belly hurts.
Oh, I was gonna say he's a ton of fun.
Oh, he's a Tom of fun too. He's a Tom of fun with some tummy tums. Yep, same old Darkins in the same old deck. Anyway, let's show you a very hopefully not long combo tutorial so that you can learn what this deck is doing, or if you want to play it, just what some of the lines could be. Alright team, welcome to the combo tutorial and test hand section of the video where we do a random 5-card test hand to show you the realistic ceiling that any 5 cards in your hand can do. So that being said, we're going to shuffle on up. If you're having a good time, please make sure you subscribe and stuff. We got a lot of cool videos coming for this fun format and the rest of the summer. With all that being said, let's shuffle on up, cut on up, and see what the Darkins are doing in 2023. My god.
Alright, with that being said, we'll do a few more of these bad boys.
Alright, team. Oh, we got the cute lover sleeves for all my lovers.
Start off with Starly's favorite, 1-card combo, triple
Amazing.
tactics.
Yo, Ash me, you won't.
Another copy of tactics. Okay, our Rocket Tracer, and oh my god, this hand is insane.
Yeah, look at that. Tasty.
Okay, so we're going to start off with normal summon our copy of Starly's Safer. We're going to activate Safer's effect here. We're going to send a copy of Serenade from our hand to search a copy of Magnemite.
Nut.
That's kind of crazy.
Nutty.
Now, our Serenade is going to activate. This is going to send our copy of Bestial Lubellion. Wow, it's almost like we're already online. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Now we're going to take our Starly Safer. We're going to link it away. This is going to make our Striker Dragon. We're going to activate Striker Dragon's effect here. This is going to grab our copy of Boot Sector Launch.
And good news, if they do choose to interact anywhere, sometimes they will attempt to like Ash the Striker Dragon. You can just immediately punish them in any way you see fit because Talents is fun and fair.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to activate our Magnemite, target our copy of Serenade. We are going to banish it and then summon our copy of Magnemite. We will activate the effect of Magnemite. Don't forget that for the end phase. Now we can take our 2 little friendos.
Into Romulus.
Cute. We're going to activate the Romulus effect here. Just going to add our copy of Ravine. Now we're going to activate that copy of Ravine. We will pitch 1 copy of Triple Tactics because we have multiple here. This is going to send our copy of Darkest Diablo. So we'll show you exactly how you can use this card. Now we can go to our Star Liege Safer. Crazy how we have that. We can banish it, add back the Lubellion from our graveyard to our hand, activate the Lubellion. Now we'll search. This is going to grab our copy of Lewis. We can activate the Lewis, special summon it by banishing our copy of Striker Dragon. I typically like to go for the Striker Dragon here because if you do get Chaos Space into your following turns, you can always put it back, draw cards, and loop your resources. Now our Lubellion is going to summon itself by tributing our copy of Druis Worm. Guess what? That's going to happen with our good old Diablos, buddy.
Look at them lovers.
We're going to activate the Lubellion effect here. This is going to place our copy of Regained face up on the field. Now if we want, we can activate Diablos. Bam, tribute himself, rip a card out of our opponent's hand. We did draw the Rocket Tracer, which is why we were able to send our copy of Diablos instead of Apps Router to get access to our Rocket Tracer, which means we are going to take our Ravine, make it our Boot Sector, activate the Boot Sector, special summon our copy of Rocket Tracer from our hand. Now we can activate Tracer, pop our copy of Boot. This is going to grab our copy of a Rocket Recharger. Now we can take the Recharger, which is not a foil and for some reason has not been a foil yet, make our copy of Pisty. Now we can take our Romulus and we can take our Lubellion. This is going to make our copy of Triple Burst. We can activate our Pisty now. Look at those arrows. Cute. We're going to summon back the Safer. Keep in mind, you can always summon back from Banish. This gets you an additional resource for follow-up as well. Now we're going to take our Safer, our Pisty, and our Triple Burst.
Into Borland.
What a
Here
guy.
to end your life. I mean, turn.
Now we can activate the Borland, target the Tracer, negate it. Now we can summon back our copy of Rocket Recharger. Oh my god, it's a 4 and a 4.
You could go to Wendy's. I mean, summon Borland Savage Dragon, but you could also go to Wendy's.
We're going to activate our Borland Savage Dragon here, equipping a 3. We're going to go to the end phase where we're going to resolve the Magnemite, which is going to grab us our copy of Baldrake. So it may not look like a ton of interaction here, but what we have, Boral End Dragon can target any monster on the board, negate it, and then summon back another Rocket monster. So you have 2 negates here.
Yeah, you've also hand-ripped your opponent.
If they summon any monster, you can just activate the Regained to summon back a copy of our Druis Worm. That's why we grabbed that from before. And then at any point, you can special summon your copy of Baldrake, either removing one of your opponent's resources or one of your own. Just banish something like a Magnemite here, which then will trigger the Regained to bottom deck the Magnemite and then draw you 1 card. Wow,
see? Look at that. See?
And
that's why we play this. That's why we play Valor.
That's the reason. And then here, if your opponent summons from the extra deck, you've got Baldrake, Tribute Druis Worm. That's pop 2. And guess what? That's a tribute of a dark monster. Oh my
baby.
lord!
Oh,
Where's
he's
my son?
back. Oh, Secret Lover's back again.
Yeah.
Diablos is here.
His boyfriend can't come out, but that's until next turn.
But that's okay, we've got Diablos. Isn't that wild? Like, the synergy with this is just so cool. I think that's like the coolest interaction in this deck and why we love Diablos.
And then follow up, as we said, remember, we put our Safer back in the graveyard, so you can just like banish it, grab Blue Belly. This is already 8K.
Yeah, like this is wild. And this is like if you didn't have to use the talents on your turn and hand rip your opponent for another card. Again, this is just our version. You can build this how you will, but we really just wanted to showcase how this deck is navigating now in this format.
And that's the deck. This is literally one of the decks of all time. Since we started playing Yu-Gi-Oh 4 years ago, it's been one of the most powerful and consistent decks, and it still is today.
Yeah, LP and Agripane died for the sins of nothing because this deck is still absolutely nuts. God help us if those cards were still legal. Thank God they're not.
It's Magna Nuts.
Nut! Anyway, if you like dragons, comment, like, subscribe. Please do it for the dragons. If you hit like, they will print more dragons. But all that being said, team, thank you so much for watching this video. We love you. You matter. And go watch all these videos over here that may have a dragon in them. Who knows? I don't know. Bye!